We care so much about health that during the last 25 years, we destroyed water. Because when I was a child, this was the simplest thing of all. This was the essence of life. And when you were thirsty, that's the operative word, ladies and gentlemen. The word is and has and will always be thirsty. Not hydrate. They made that fucking word up. I could go anywhere in my house when I was a child. You know, there was 3 or 4 different rooms. I could go into my basement and I could get clean water and drink it. And then go back out and play. And those were great times. But then we decided every town and every village which had the water coming to it, and all they had to do was clean it, said, we'll save money. We won't clean the water so much. And with the money we can save, we can then buy the water at the supermarket. Try to go through this logic with me. Our country had water coming to our homes. And even if we were locked out, we could still get it. Clean water. And we said, no, fuck you. I don't want it to be that goddamn convenient. I want to drive and drive and drive and look for water like my ancestors did. So we now buy water from Coke and Pepsi. Because when I think clean water, oh yeah, I fucking think Coke and Pepsi. The water that they sell is actually so shitty, they won't put it in Coke and Pepsi. And that's not funny, because it's fucking probably true. Aquafina? I think it means the end of water as we know it. Then there's spring water. All sorts of spring waters. Deer Park, which I don't touch because there's a picture of a deer, and you don't need a deer pissing and shitting in your water. There's all sorts of spring waters. It's bullshit. Because nobody's ever seen a spring. Nobody's ever fucking seen a spring. There's no such thing. Fuck, when was the last time you said, boy, I can't wait to go to a bottling plant? You know where spring water comes from? There's a couple in Pittsburgh that sits in a bathtub and fills these fuckers up. Because that's how stupid they think we are. They think we're so stupid that on many bottles of spring water, they print the nutritional facts. The nutritional facts of water. How dumb do they think we are? It's as if they believed that we fell asleep on a nuclear reactor and our brains had melted and we are now nothing more than meat with eyes. I wonder how many calories are on water. Let me look. Total fat. Total fuck fat in water. What that implies is that there's water with chunks of fat in it. And I gotta find that water because that's the tasty goddamn water. And if that weren't enough, they print next to the calories and the total fat, all of the zeros that are there, they print the percent of our daily requirement. If they think we're that stupid, the labels on spring water should just be written in crayon, with the R reversed, and a finger like this. When I was a kid and water was free, nobody ever told you how much water to drink. Ever. 4 glasses of milk, nothing about water. But then they started bottling water. And as soon as they started bottling it, they said 8 bottles a day. 8! 8, you fuckers! That's like a goddamn homework assignment. I can't remember what day it is. Now I gotta remember how many bottles of water I drank? Fuck you. That's 56 bottles of water a week. You need a burro to carry that much shit around. And if you don't drink 56 bottles of water a week, many doctors say at the end of the week, you should take a garden hose and shove it up your ass. Here's the kicker. You're going to love this. Scientists have begun to experiment to find out the effects of water on our system. And guess what? We're probably drinking too much water. And by the sound of your reaction, I realize that some of you are fucked. You've been scarfing this shit down. You've been yelling, look at me, look at me. My pee has no color. That's because you pissed all the nutrients in your brain away, and you're lucky your head hasn't caved in. There are people who walk out of their apartments in New York City every morning of every work week carrying a liter bottle of water in a sling, as if it was a little baby. They're carrying a liter bottle of water with them, as if they were crossing the goddamn Mojave. What if I never see water again? The bottom line is that nobody knows. Nobody knows shit about health. I know this because there was an article written a few years ago about a gentleman living in the Bronx, the oldest man living in New York, 115 years old, living by himself, having no health problems, getting around without any trouble whatsoever, mentally clear. And they asked him what his diet was, and he said that from the ages of 90 to 115, he'd narrowed his diet down. And it now consisted of bread fried in fatback and 3 gallons of Thunderbird wine a week. When they asked him why he didn't fry his bread and bacon, he said, because bacon's too lean. Imagine if he went to a doctor. Guy had been doing tremendously, and if he sat there and described his diet, the doctor would have gone, what the fuck's the matter with you? You can't eat that anymore. You have to start on a diet of fruits and vegetables. And he would have, and he'd have been dead in a week. Because they don't know. They try to come up with these general rules of health. And they can't do it. It's impossible to do. Because everybody's health is different. What's good for one of you will kill the person sitting next to you. Every one of you has a health that is unique and totally different from everybody else. Completely. Because we are all like snowflakes. I've thought of 2 general rules of health, and I think these actually work. The first is, the good die young, but pricks live forever. So, if you want to increase your longevity, if there's a kid who lives across the street, whenever you see him, run outside and go, "Get out of here, you little shit!" And it'll be just like taking vitamins. The second is, if you masturbate 20 times a day, you'll never make it out your front door. You might make it to the door, but when you squeeze the handle, you'll pass out. And let me just say that I did that experiment in my own lab, wearing a white lab coat with a rectal thermometer in my pocket. Now, for women, my belief is it's probably 30 times a day, but I can't find a woman to come to my lab. We have a health issue that still looms in front of us. It's extraordinary that it does, but the fact is there can still be a smallpox epidemic in this country. And the reason for that is that the vaccines that we were given, and I was told was going to last forever, wore the fuck off. And they waited until a possible emergency condition to tell us. That's as if you went to a public bathroom, flushed the toilet, and the water just hit you in the face. And as you left, on the door, as you're leaving, it said, "Danger, water may hit you in the face." I can't believe it wore off. And they didn't tell us, because that means my whole life has been a delusion. Because every day I'd wake up and I'd go, "Well, it's gonna suck today, but at least I'm not getting smallpox." If I get smallpox, I will file suit against my government, because they took me out of a very important class to get that vaccine. And if I had taken that class, I wouldn't have to do this bullshit for a living. I'd have a real job, like with WorldCom or Enron or Tyco, Global Crossing, Adelphia. Or any of those wonderful, wonderful businesses that did so much to inspire us to invest in the stock market.
I do what I can to support our troops, no matter what they've been asked to do. I don't have to agree in advance with the mission to support the young men and women who do my bidding. Last year, I went on a UFO tour. That's good, Ron. I went on a UFO tour, which not a lot of comedians are asked to do, because the jokes translate so poorly from one planet to the next. These are legal aliens. But oddly enough, they still speak Spanish. I went on a USO tour, and I'll tell you the difference. Earthlings. I was in Germany for 10 days doing shows for troops going into and coming out of Iraq and Afghanistan, and they asked me to go to Iraq, and I was like, "Fuck you, man. I'm not going to that shithole. I'm 50 and fat. I'll get shot." I couldn't dodge a goddamn donut if you threw it at me. What'd you throw a fucking donut at me for, man? You hit me right in the heart, dude. And then when we filmed Blue Collar 3, we filmed it in Washington, D.C., and the fine folks at the USO asked us to spend the day at Walter Reed Hospital. And if you go to Walter Reed Hospital, you'll see a byproduct of this war nobody likes to talk about, but they should talk about it every day, because the sacrifice these young men and women have made for this country, they can't take back, and they should be applauded and saluted and given the best medical care we can give them for the rest of their lives. And they should not live in abject poverty because they made a sacrifice to the greatest nation on this planet. And if we fail there, we fail everywhere we can fail, folks. To the troops, guys. Cheers. I'll tell you one USO story. We're going from room to room visiting these amazingly brave Americans at Walter Reed. Me, Jeff Foxworthy, Bill Engvall, Larry, the cable guy. We go to this kid's room, and this kid is mangled. I don't know what they'll ever do for him. The only way he could talk was to hold a finger over a hole in his throat. And he breathed in, and he wouldn't use a lot of words, but what he said was very poignant and very funny. And I was just sitting there admiring him, going, who the fuck is this kid to be this brave, you know? And I carry a man bag, and in the bag are cigars and cigar cutters and lighters and reading glasses and sunglasses and Tampax and my wife's titties and all the things I need to make it through an afternoon. We're about to leave this kid's room, and Foxworthy goes, you know, you're the only person today that didn't make fun of Ron's purse. And this kid goes, pussy. That's the only time I've ever seen Foxworthy snot. He called you a pussy, dude. Or however he talks. I love this country. I don't think this country's perfect, but I don't think any country is. And I think there are ways I could help improve this country, but nobody in Washington will listen to me because of my behavioral problem. There are three ways I think I could improve this country. I could improve the heightened state of awareness system in this country. I could help fund the war in Iraq. And there's an immigration problem. They want to build a wall all the way from the Gulf of Mexico to the Pacific Ocean, to a specific ocean, which they've already chosen. Oh, he was sharp than that. We saw him. Went on a UFO tour and took a trip across a Pacific Ocean, which he had already chosen in advance. Folks, I believe in my heart that the Department of Homeland Security's color-coded, heightened state of awareness system might be the most useless thing ever shoved down the throats of the American people. In all my travels, I've yet to meet one person that knows what to do different if the heightened state of awareness is yellow or orange or yellow. Nothing ever happens anyway. I haven't met one person that knows that there are 5 heightened states of awareness in this country. Did you know that, sir? Fuck no, you didn't. Oh, no. Blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. Apparently, when the heightened state of awareness is blue, you don't even need sunscreen. You can just walk outside naked. You can't even burn my cock. I'm not sure why the Scottish guy said that. You can't even burn my cock. The biggest problem I have with the heightened state of awareness system in this country is that it makes no sense. The second biggest problem I have with it is that it scares my mother. Thanks. The last time the heightened state of awareness switched from yellow to orange, my mother called me, and my mother is very rural, as am I. And mother called me and she goes, the heightened state of awareness just switched to orange. I said, I know, Mother, I was watching television. She goes, I don't know what to do. I said, Mother, nobody knows what to do. They didn't even print a flyer with this program. But since we were attacked on 9/11, Mama, we've all been in a general heightened state of awareness. She goes, I don't know what that means. I said, well, Mom, if you're getting on an airplane and the person in front of you has 7 H's in their name and a basket of fucking cobras, check their shoes for fuses. And that's not racism, that's profiling. And you have to do some profiling. You can't frisk 10 grandmothers just so you can pretend that that guy doesn't look suspicious. Bullshit. Go frisk his ass. When he gets all pissed off, go, sorry. And if he's still pissed off after that, go, hey, you wore the turban to the fucking airport, buddy. Yep. Buy a John Deere cap for travel days. Fuck, I don't know. Buy a John Deere turban. Do they make them? I'm sorry, we're a little edgy. If I were in charge of the Department of Homeland Security, we'd have a heightened state of awareness system in this country, that's for sure, but we'd have one that made sense and one that the fine citizens of this country understood. And we would have 2 heightened states of awareness. Go find a helmet. Put on the fucking helmet. That way I know what to say to my mother when she calls. I don't know what to do. It's put on a fucking helmet, damn. Put on a fucking helmet, Mom. That strap goes under your chin, Mother. When Mother has her helmet on, she forgets her neck works. Just turn your head, Mom. You're getting it. We find ourselves, folks, in the middle of a war we can't afford financially. I won't address any other aspect of the war this evening, but it is time to refit the biggest army the world has ever seen. And here's the problem. We're broke. We ain't got no money. We're still writing checks like you do in real life. Just praying to God somebody will cash one of these useless son of a bitches, you know? You're $17 trillion in debt. You still got a checkbook, really? Seems like somebody eventually is going to take that checkbook away, you know? And we, you know what? China's cashing our checks, and that's not a good plan for this country, mark my word. And they can't figure out a way to fund this war. And I came up with a great idea that nobody will listen. We have a beautiful son. His name is Marshall. I named him after an amplifier. Almost named him PV. Come here, blah punk, you little woofer. Get over here. My son's 5 years old. My son thinks 5 years old is a very cool age to be because that's the coolest age he's gotten to. His favorite thing about being 5 years old is he's old enough to wear a seatbelt. That's his biggest visible step towards manhood so far in his eyes, you know. He's strapped in the truck just like his daddy, and he thinks that's great. I think it's great, too, because I drive a four-wheel drive truck, and I learned this about four-wheel drive trucks. It doesn't really matter how big the motor is or how big the tires are. Your macho days are over when you strap a car seat in the front of that bad boy. You just can't show it off to your buddies, you know what I mean? You can't make yourself go, what, that? That's got the Vortec V8 running 285 horsepower. Yeah! That's a man-at-the-walk power winch. That'll pull 28 tons right out of the ditch. Yeah! That's a play school car seat with the Big Bird steering wheel attachment right there on it. That's Bird on the blinker, Ernie on the windshield wiper. That's Big Bird in the middle. You can honk that fat bastard if you want to. Hell, in 2 weeks, I'll have the Cookie Monster flip mirror. Back ordered it on me. I don't know how to drive the truck anymore. I bought this big two-story custom van to tour in. And it's kind of neat. It's got the James Bond couch in the back where you push a button, and the couch in the back automatically turns into a bed. And I'm like, well, that's cool. I finally got something over those Mercedes-Benz driving in-laws of mine. You know what I mean? When I first bought the van, I was real proud of it, and I took it straight over to my brother-in-law's house to show it off because he's such a prick. He takes one look at my new van and goes, I can't believe you didn't buy a Mercedes-Benz. They don't make a van. They hate it when you do that. He goes, Ron, I don't think you fully understand the intricacies of Mercedes-Benz engineering. Why, I've got the 3-inch windshield wiper that keeps my headlight clean in a rainstorm. I got a place to fuck your sister. I don't know why they don't like me. Bet you wish you had one of these. It's a kit. Kidding. I don't want to screw up good whiskey. Oh, tasty. Actually, that was all bullshit. I just got a divorce. I just wanted to do those 3 jokes before I told you. And I'll tell you what went wrong, and because I feel like I can be honest with you folks, and you won't judge me, or maybe you will. I don't care. But I'll tell you, it's very, very difficult to marry out of your class. I come from a lower middle class family. My daddy worked his ass off his whole life for not very much, and that does not make you better than me. You know what I mean? My dad was a good man. And, right. And they're always going to just look down their nose at you like you're supposed to be carrying some piss bucket for them or something. And if you're not willing to carry the piss bucket, it ain't going to work. And she got convinced in her crazy head that I had sex with this girl in Columbus, Ohio, and I did, and I'll tell you why. When you enter into a monogamous relationship with somebody, you usually do it at a point in the relationship when you're having a lot of sex. So you're willing to sign the papers. I'll only have sex with you ever, 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 ever. Well, if that person stops having sex altogether, why, you find yourself in quite a pickle. I'm a pretty good dog, but if you don't pet me every once in a while, it's hard to keep me under the porch. I'm not as flexible as a real dog. And I'll tell you what happened, too. I was in Columbus, Ohio.
I had been laid in 3 months. 3 months. You can't go 3 months without having sex with me. I'll go have sex with somebody else. I know. I've seen me do it. I did a show one night. I came off stage. There's a gorgeous woman, maybe 35, 40 years old. Long black dress, slid up to her waist. Gorgeous. Give me a second. Gorgeous. When I walk off stage, she goes, I thought you were hilarious. I want to buy you a drink. I'm like, I can't do that. I'm married. She goes, I didn't ask you if you want to have sex, big boy. I asked you if you want to have a drink at my place. I'm like, all right. But you know that little guy that sits on your shoulder that reminds you of your prior commitments and your moral fortitude? I didn't hear a peep out of that guy. He hadn't been laid in 3 months either. He was speechless for like 20 minutes, and he was like, suck her titty. I was gonna. I'm having a three-way with my conscience. As soon as the whole thing's over, he's back at his post. That was wrong, mister. Like, hey, 20 minutes ago, you were beating off on my shoulder, monkey boy. I hate him. He smokes pot. He burned a hole in my other jacket. I've been spending a ton of time in Los Angeles. I learn things when I go to LA. I learned this. They have bikinis now made out of seashells. I didn't know that. And I also didn't know this. If you're ever walking down the beach and you see a girl dressed in a bikini made out of seashells, and you pick her up and hold her to your ear, you can hear her scream. Who'd have thunk it? I thought I'd hear the ocean, but not over that woman. Hush, ma'am. She was a wiggler. LA changes people. I got a buddy of mine from Houston. He's a comedian. Moved to LA 6 months ago. 6 months in LA. Don't know him. 6 months in LA. Now he's a vegetarian and humanitarian, environmentalist. You know, great. If you're here tonight and you're a vegetarian, shut up. You're not going to recruit me. I did not climb to the top of the food chain to eat carrots. It's not even that good for you. You ever see a healthy looking vegetarian? They look like shit. They're all plump and gray because their bodies become intolerant of things they need. I'll give you an example. I'm on the way to the Melrose Improv in Hollywood to do a set with my buddy, and he says this, and I quote, I feel nauseous and I have a headache. I think that vegetable soup I had for lunch must have had beef broth in it. I didn't know what to say. Your system's kicking back broth. You're a manly man, aren't you? Why were you a vegetarian? I asked him, and it wasn't even because meat was bad for you. He said that raising cattle was bad for the planet, with cow flatulence in the ozone and the clearing of land for the raising of cattle. What are you doing to help the environment? I'm eating the cows. But I'm only one man. Whatever the hell that meant. Every time I read a newspaper in Los Angeles, California, I get pissed because things don't have to make sense in LA.